It actually worked. Check it out.
It's a brand new day. Wake up every morning and say, it's a brand new day.
Oh, baby. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Trip and you're watching Maximum Overland, and guess what? We got Kong done. We got the Mo trailing arm, coil spring suspension added to this thing, and it is nuts. I just finished it. It's Friday night, so I figured I'll just have like a party and reveal it. So for all of you other Kong owners, the bottom of the trailer is now 22 inches off the ground. 22 inches. Most of your vehicles don't have that kind of clearance. So we just changed the game with the suspension. Not only that, I haven't climbed and done anything dumb on it yet. I will. It has proper suspension. Can you believe that? What we added will be dramatically different on the trail. It will be dramatically different. And I'm excited about that because I'm long done with the sound of clung, 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 because there's no compression and suspension in the Timbren, and when you're on a fire road and even air down, it's just bam, 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 bam. I'm so glad for that to be gone. Let's jump in and check it out, because it is nuts. Let's turn it around so you guys can see the meat and potatoes. Now, everybody that's anybody knows that these trailers already are pretty cool and beautiful. But what they didn't know is the type of platform and how well they're built. Well, these guys are nuts, and I'm gonna show you guys. So what we decided to do, you guys got to watch along, and I'm super happy with what we did because it came out really, really good. So let's get these all moved in here. And the neat thing about it is I think you can now see what I was talking about when I say trailing arm. So now the neat thing about it is you can see how the two coils were added to the suspension. And so what I did is built those off the Timbren bracket. And what I did is made longer arms that extended farther back, used regular coil spring buckets on the bottom, and then built top hat coil spring buckets for the top and welded them into the frame in the corners. And so that created the suspension articulation that we needed. We also removed the Timbren bump stops because they were really, I guess, what you would call the suspension component for the Timbren. But in all honesty, all they are is incredibly hard pieces of rubber that I'll show you here. So right in here, the Timbren rubber blocks were at. And so this arm sat farther up, which obviously dropped the trailer, but there was no compression to them. And I showed you guys in like video 1 and 2 how hard they were. Well, I'll show you what we have left. Now, they were about, well, I'll show you so you understand. So this was built in there. And that was the compression and rebound for your suspension on these trailers. So what I did was removed one, and now I inverted it, and I just stuck it up in there. And what it does, it acts as a bump stop for the compression aspect. So that this arm doesn't come all the way up and into the trailer. It'll still act as a rubber bump stop. But what we did is we supplemented this with the coil spring. And the neat thing about it is I think now you can see how it operates. So with these coil springs at an angle, the compression comes up and it allows you to stop. But you can see what we did is we built in some limit straps, because now we originally had about 2 inches of droop. Now we have about 4 inches of droop. So what that limit strap does is just stop the rear arm, or this control arm per se, from extending all the way out and the coil spring coming loose. So you can see they're on both sides. It's the same way. And so you can also see the top coil spring bucket I built. So right here is your subframe going across this trailer. So I built a frame up in there and then built this coil bucket that goes about this deep. And it goes up to the top of this frame rail inside and sets, and then it's boxed in. And it actually acts as the top hat for the coil. But we're not going to know exactly how it operates until we get this dude on the trail. So what we're going to do next is we're going to hopefully put this guy on the trail pretty soon. But I had so many people ask, you know, what's it going to look like when it's finished? How is it going to operate? Well, unfortunately, we don't know those things until we take it out on the trail. Here, let's move in under here. See if you guys can get a good look at that top hat. So that's the way it's designed. It goes up in the frame and it builds a box, and that box supports that coil. Anyway, this is what I was talking about. So you can see it in conception. It's built off the original timbering arm, comes down. It has new grade A bolts. They're 3 inches long to obviously take into consideration the new low coil plate, but that's what it is. And yes, they're built at an angle, and the purpose of that is obviously to support the weight in a more controlled fashion. We now have the shock and the spring. And internally, we have the half of the timbering original bump stop up in there. And so I think this is going to do a marvelous job. Now, we have to give these things away. Remember these? Yeah. So those are brand new. And remember, when we were doing the Bronco and installing the Baja kits, I was hoping to be able to use these, but unfortunately, they ended up being a little too short. So they're brand new, they're greased, they're ready to go, and they are HD compared to the factories. The factories are tiny. The factories aren't even this width. So you can see the girth difference between what you have in your Bronco now and these. So let's do this. Let me ask you this. This is what I need to know. I need to know on Kong 2 things. What's in this box right here? Okay. What's in that box right there? That's 1. And what's in here? If you can tell me those 2 things in the comments below, you get those bad boys. I will send them to you free of charge. I'll put them on the FedEx truck or UPS or whatever. I'll airmail them to you. I'll get them out to you if you can answer those 2 questions. What's in the box on the side and what's in the box in the front? If you know Kong, like the people that follow it do, if you know this guy, then answer the questions below and I'll send those to you. Hopefully you have a Bronco, because that's what it is. If you don't have a Bronco but you want to just take a chance at it, take a stab at it. If you don't want them and you just want to take a stab at it, go ahead and do that, and I'll send you some patches or something. I've got some new patches. I have 3 new ones, matter of fact. So do me a favor. take a guess at it and let me know. Anyway, this is just a quick video. I just want to show you what's going on with it, show you the completion video of it, of the 3-part series. I'm super happy with it. That being said, remember, I have a Patreon, www.patreon.com/MaximumOverland. Anything helps. It's like buying a coffee. I use it all for this stuff. But I'm gonna wrap this up. We have some trips coming up. Obviously, we're gonna do some of the expos this year. We're gonna do some wheeling this year. Hopefully, I'm gonna be out in the next short period of time to get out in the snow. I'm ready to get out in the snow. Bronc Landers is still in the body shop getting all that body damage from Moab getting finished, but he will be done soon. Then we've got some 529 gears from Nitro to get put on. Matter of fact, they're right there staring at me and have been. So we're gonna get those put on. And then after that, there's one big thing that's gonna happen this year. I can't announce it to anyone, but it's gonna be bananas. And I'll tell you this, when we complete it, it'll be the only Bronco, only one in the world. So, if you don't wanna miss that, you wanna see something that nobody else has in the world, watch this channel, subscribe, and then, you know, definitely like these videos and share them. But pass it along. Tell YouTube you like seeing this kind of stuff, this DIY fab. Anyway, thanks for watching. You guys are rad, and I'll see you next time.
It's out there just waiting on you. So look